Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm filming some bangers. It has been a minute since your boy's been able to film. We had a snowstorm, then we had an ice storm, the power's out, so everything on God's green earth was making it so I couldn't make videos. So now, you guys, if you haven't seen already, I purchased my new car, the one I've been talking about for so long, and I'm stoked. The build has already started. We did a new exhaust. I haven't filmed a video, so I'm gonna do a little cold start right now. It sounds nasty. I'm still gonna do a few little mods to the exhaust because it still has the resonators, which I didn't know. But today's video, we're gonna be talking about my first impressions. So I've only driven this car like 3 or 4 times, and I wanna give you guys raw, uncut, kind of how I feel about it. So let's go find a parking spot, and then I'm gonna show you guys the exterior, interior, and then the performance, talk all about that. So let's hop into it. But man, real quick before we get into that, smash that like button, baby. Hit subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Consider subscribing. I got several Mustangs, probably too many. 03 Cobra, 0540, and now my 2014 GT, and also a 2017 Silverado, which you guys can't see, it's back there, but lots of good stuff. So man, consider subscribing. Without further ado, let's get into it. Bang! Alrighty, fam, so here she is, my 2014 Mustang GT, new to me if you guys have not seen my other video. As you can tell, it is in deep impact blue, which is absolutely sick. So this video, let's start with the exteriors, things, my first impressions. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think the 1314 is the best looking Mustang that's come out in several years. I would argue the one before that looked the best was the 0304 Cobra, which I am also very, very happy that I own that car as well. But guys, look at that, man, oh man. So what really got me was that commercial. I'm gonna try to cut a little clip here and put it in.
Everyone has an inner Mustang.
Of when the cars were changing colors, it's driving through the city. That just, it sold me. The front end on these. Now, I really was looking anywhere between an 11 and 14. Now, the 11 and 12s, those that don't know, pretty much a lot of things are not paint matched, like the lower fascia, and I hated that about my 05 because everything is a black plastic, whereas this just looks so much more premium. This is also a premium model, but that has really nothing to do with the exterior of the vehicle. Moving around to the back, which many people would argue is probably the best thing about the 1314, is these taillights are absolute money. I mean, look at her. Oh my goodness, that is a beautiful sight to be had. But guys, the 1314 just looks so good, especially in this color. Now, this color was not my first choice. I really wanted white. Now, I'll be completely honest, I had no clue deep impact blue was this beautiful, to be totally frank. I didn't realize it had flake in it. Now, I need to do a paint correction because it's pretty beat up. It went through a few wash tunnels, I'm sure, when it was at the dealership, but that is okay. No big deal. But guys, it is also on some different wheels. So this was all done by the previous owner. It is still factory ride height. You guys can tell by, let's look at the gap here in the back, boys. Look at this. That is unacceptable. So these are 18s, right? So I think that's where the biggest mistake was made, is that they're 18s. These cars need 19s or 20s or a drag pack. I have yet to make up my mind what I want to do. I think this car would look stellar on some silver or kind of chrome wheels. But I don't know if I want to throw a 15 or 17 in the rear or just go with a nice 20 setup. Decisions, but man, guys. Also, this has the HIDs from the factory, which are so good. So I'll put up a picture of my 05 right now on the screen with the 4-inch cowl hood. You can't see, whereas this thing, you have excellent visibility, so that is a big plus. But man, just having everything paint matched in this beautiful blue. We'll see if we can try to get some of the flake. There's so many damn swirls on this car, but that's okay. It's to be expected. It's an older car. Now let's hop into the interior. All right, guys, so hopping into the interior, first impressions. Man, oh man. So for those that don't know, the 05 to the 14, they're very, very similar, but with the 13 and 14 models, they made some changes. So seats have a little bit better bolstering. Now, again, this is the premium model. Not a huge difference there. Door cards look the same. These have the stitched in, so I'm hoping and praying to God these do not fall out. But as the Shaker 500, everything looks very similar there. Now, in the cockpit, some of the biggest differences is the nav. So this one has almost every feature that you could get during this year. So it has the heated seats, which, oh my God, guys, I live in the Midwest, Northwest Chicago suburbs, so having heated seats on days like today or other days when it's in the 30s and 40s, game changer. Another thing this car has that I didn't even know existed, it has heated mirrors. Guys, what the heck? Like, that's nuts to me, the fact that that has that. So that is super, super cool. Another thing, since this car has the nav, it has the Bluetooth or sync, so I can listen without having that little adapter thingy coming out. So that is sick. I could change the volume, all that stuff. I could do like calls and all that. Super, super neat. I really, this car feels a lot newer to me, even though, I mean, I guess it is 9 years newer than the 05, but the features are just sick. Now, let me show you guys a few other things that I think are super neat. Now, this car, I don't know if this is on all of them, but this has, I think this is like considered part of the not track pack, but it has all these different things, which is super sick. You could do your acceleration. So I thought that was super neat. I didn't know that even existed. This car also has the ambient package, which I don't know if you guys can see, but there's blue lights everywhere. There's like blue lights under the, oh, you guys can kind of see that there. There's also another light there. So everything, and I think you could change the color if I'm not mistaken. I have to look into that. Now, other things that are worth mentioning, it looked kind of like the 05. They didn't really change much, just better materials. It does not have the glass roof, which I wanted for a while, but then I read some reviews. You can't really get them. So God forbid something happens to it, you're kind of SOL. And I've heard that it could actually total out the car. So in that respect, I'm glad I don't have it. All right, guys, now let's talk performance, right? That's what most of you are probably wondering. Now, for those that don't know, I've got an 05 V6, which I absolutely love. I also have an 03 Cobra that makes a little over 460 wheel. So this car is kind of in between, but it's closer to the Cobra. So right now you're probably seeing this automatic shifter and you're like, Evan, oh my gosh, why didn't you get a manual? Well, let me tell you why. I don't want to deal with the MT82. For those that don't know, third gear lockout is super prominent on those. The MT82, some people have them and they last forever. Some people don't. Me personally, also being completely honest, I prefer the automatic. I like getting in the car and just being able to drive. Now, my Cobra kind of ruined that for me because that's what I learned to drive stick on, and that car is arguably the worst car with the built trans, built rear end, clutch, everything to learn on. So with the 6R80, this thing is actually really, really good. So if you guys do some research, the 6R80, these things hold like 600, 700, 800 horsepower. And then also you can get them built, but it shifts so smooth. And when you're in sport mode, guys, it holds the RPMs a little bit higher. It is so sick. Now, let's get back outside and show you more of the car while I talk about the performance because the outside looks so good. Now, let's talk about speed, right? So I kind of touched on that. The Cobra is the fastest of the three, and this car is a close second. But I was blown away at the low-end torque. So for those that don't know, the Coyotes, especially like the Gen 1s, Gen 2s, and Gen 3s, all of them, I guess, they're known for having more top-end power. So it's really once you get like 5,000-6,000 RPMs, because these things can rev out to like high 7,000s if you do like a Cobra Jet intake or Boss intake. But man, it revs. But the low end torque is what surprised me. So this feels somewhat similar to the Cobra in terms of the low end torque, which is nuts. Now this car only has an intake and exhaust. I do not believe it's tuned. It's on 93, but man, oh man, guys. The low end torque on this is so good. You never have to go above like 2,000 RPMs, and before you know it, you're like 60, 70 miles an hour. So that part is sick. Also, the exhaust on these. So Coyotes kind of get a bad rap because they do obnoxious exhaust. They'll do the Roush exhaust with like long tube headers, off-road X-pipe, and it sounds like dookie. This car, it just has the Flowmaster Outlaws, and it sounds phenomenal. I'm going to do the resonator delete to get a little bit more volume, but I don't want to go overkill and I don't want to make it sound disgusting like it has diarrhea. But this is the perfect happy medium. But guys, for performance, for an almost stock car, unbelievable. Oh my goodness, it's been a while since I've done these videos and I feel like I have asthma. I can't talk. But yeah, guys, so there we go. I'm gonna end the video here. I'm gonna film a few more today. This should be going out tomorrow, Monday, February 27th, I think. But guys, I'm so stoked with this car. There's so many big plans. You guys are finally gonna see me build a car from start to finish. It's gonna be sick. So if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to drop a like. There's tons more content. I can't stress that enough. So hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace out, guys.